This post is about the toroidal field and a couple of theories I have about how it works in alignment with our etheric body, especially when it comes to what we put out and what we receive. Of course, I made some art to illustrate my point. This illustration is meant to represent our toroidal field in much of its complexity. At the center is a pillar of universal energy. We are a conduit. This pillar is perpetually flowing with energy from Earth up into the heavens, and with energy from the heavens to the Earth. This energy is set in a double helix pattern, the same shape as our DNA, our molecular lattice. I'm moving my finger here to illustrate how the energy is emitted through our toroidal field. While I'm only moving my finger in one direction, I'd like to mention energy flows in both ways simultaneously, always. Although sometimes the flow of both ways can become imbalanced. This is why we do our cleansing and auric filter practices, to prevent this flow from clogging up with stagnant energy. I've added a few cones of spiraling energy to this drawing to illustrate how we're perpetually emitting and receiving energy through our senses, such as sight, hearing, touch, and the sensations felt with our internal organs, such as our heart and gut. If you look closely at the chakras, I've put small toroidal field around each one. These power centers are the many conductors within a larger etheric body system. I've added smaller points to represent how we have many more little power centers outside of our chakras. I drew this lovely lady to model a more clear representation of how we channel universal life force energy through our bodies. Connected between the earth and the heavens, perpetually emitting and receiving information and vibration. Energy flows in both directions, ebb and flow, give and receive, the ups and downs of our dips. I believe balancing this circuitry is the first step to bringing yourself into alignment. Healing starts on a molecular level, and this is a way of communicating with those subtle vibrations of our molecules, cells, and atoms. I don't have the science to back this, but will preach it as my theory. I drew this river goddess looking gal to bring up how this energy with our toroidal field exists in a spectrum of density. When working with energy, you might notice some carry certain sensations. For example, this model is using the waterfall meditation to cleanse and clear her etheric body. So the sensations of this meditation would be similar to water and the properties of water. This same meditation can be explored with fire, earth, air, and spirit. All of these elements, these densities of energy, can cleanse, protect, and empower you. After all, these are the ingredients that created you beautiful miracle you. Now I will speak to the importance of how you consciously shift your weight via the toroidal field. Even when you're holding perfectly still, you are life in action. In addition to physical motion, your thoughts, words, the urges of your heart, center, and loin are all operating on this circuit of giving and receiving. Imagine you are shooting an arrow from a bow. Once released, you cannot take it back. In this metaphor, the bow is our toroidal field, and we are the arrow. With a real bow and arrow, the arrow is bound to hit something. But with these intangible arrows, such as our thoughts, our gestures shot into the infinite, these arrows will find their way back to you. Eventually, this energy will come back. And when it does, it will not be the same arrow you released. Releasing these metaphorical arrows creates an opportunity for the vibrations to reverberate into our reality and then back to us. Your toroidal field is your bow. You are the arrows.